Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farmville. And I really did quite enjoy it. I got quite familiar with that shed because over the course of the winter, every Tuesday and every Thursday, a lorry would turn up. And this lorry was a standard a standard solid bed lorry with a trailer as well. So it was a flatbed lorry and a flatbed and drag combination, which is the longest that you're allowed in the UK. You can have an Arctic lorry, an articulated lorry, which is just like the tractor unit lorry and in a big trailer, and the trailers have a set limit to the length of the trailer, but you're not allowed to have a second trailer on the back because there's only so many joints you're allowed to have unless you've got special reasons. So a flatbed and drag, you can actually end up with a longer combination than you can with an Arctic lorry with a trailer on the back. So you have your flatbed and drag, and it can go up to, I think it's 62 feet long. I don't know how many meters that is, I'm afraid. Let me have a look a minute. But you can have a little extension overhang on the back up to 65 feet long. It might be 60 feet. It could very well be 60 feet. So let's just assume that it's 60 feet. And I'm going to have a look at a conversion in a minute. 60 feet is 18.2 meters. 65 feet is 19.8 meters. So I suspect actually it's like 66 feet or 65 point something. So it's 20 meters in total is the full length of the flatbed and drag with the extension that you're allowed to have. But you couldn't have the extension on all the time. It's only with the load. So like people who hauled straw would have your trailer, and then you could have an extension on the back where the straw would stick over by a couple of extra feet, and I think that would take it up to your 20 meters or whatever it was. But anyway, this lorry would turn up on a Tuesday and then again on a Thursday, and I would load it up with a load of the straw that was in the shed, and it would take it off to the local donkey sanctuary. We had a contract where we supplied straw to the donkey sanctuary throughout the entire winter. And it was all in that shed, every single bale. And I think we got down to the last bales of straw in around April, and I started loading them up for the donkey sanctuary in October. That should possibly give you an idea of the sheer mind-boggling size of that shed, that I was able to take 2 lorry loads per week for close to 6 months. I think it was 6 months. That's roughly speaking, so we call it 6 months. That was how long I was there doing that. Okay, we're filling herbicide at the moment. I don't want to be filling herbicide. I want to... Does the cover come off? The cover isn't coming off. That might be because I'm filling the herbicide. How do I take that cover off? Working width, refuel. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Open cover. Now I can open the cover. Right. And now I can fill it back up again. Okay. Yeah, all good. All right. I didn't actually want the herbicide, but that's fine. We'll do it like this. So I need field 7, and then I also need the grass field as well. So yeah, like, it was quite interesting. I did get very, very well acquainted with that shed. I filled the whole shed all the way up, and then I emptied it all out again over the course of the entire winter. So I was there for quite a long time doing the emptying out. So I don't know how many lorry loads that is. Well, what are we? Assume that it's 6 months. So there's 26 weeks, which means that I did 52 lorry loads. That's a full lorry and drag. 52 lorry loads of straw went out of that shed onto the lorry to go to the donkey sanctuary. But not only that, that's not the only stuff we had there. Oops, hang on, let me bring that back a minute. That isn't the only stuff we had there. We also had the straw that we used for our own cows. And we kept our own cows in comfortable bedding for the entire winter, as well as the stuff that we sold to the donkey sanctuary. And our own cows were, what do we have? 400 cows plus all of the followers. So there were 400 cows on this beef farm, and then all of the offspring from those, and obviously they can stay up to 3 years before they're ready to go, and we had all of them there on the farm for the 3 years. So I think we had in total nearly 1,000 animals, probably more than 1,000 animals. We had a lot of animals. I don't know how many there was, right? I'm just throwing out random numbers because I'm guessing now. But they were all there, and we kept them in straw as well. Like, they had all of their bedding provided for, and it was all in this shed. Like, everything was in this shed. So our animals had all of the straw that they needed for the entire winter, plus the 50, what did I say, 52? Well, yeah, of course, it's half a year, 2 loads. That would be the same as 1 load a week. Like, it's not really rocket science, Frith, come on. So 52 lorry loads, lorry and drag of straw. They went off to the donkey sanctuary, and I don't know what they were doing at the donkey sanctuary. I reckon they must have been feeding it partly because it was the barley straw that they had. We had the wheat straw for us. I mean, they did take some of the wheat straw, and they also took all of the oat straw that we had. But mostly they had the contract for having all of the barley straw that we produced. And that was the principal one that I was loading up for them. But it's still a lot of straw. There's a huge amount of straw. And it was all in that one shed. Massive, monstrous, great big shed. I really wish I'd measured the shed when I was working there. It was a long time ago. But I really do wish I'd measured the shed so that I could get a proper idea of the dimensions of it, because it was huge. I wonder if I can find it on Google Maps. I'm going to do that. If I remember. Try to remind me in the comments section. Look up the shed on Google Maps. Right? As you put that in the comment section, tell me to look up the shed on Google Maps. And I will look it up, and I will see if I can have any way of actually measuring the dimensions of the shed, provided it's still there. I haven't looked for a very, very long time. I did once look up the farm on Google Maps just to see if it was there, and all the sheds were still there. But that was a long, long time ago. So it might all be gone now. They may have torn the whole lot down and replaced it with chalets or something. Who knows? But I will see if I can find out just how big his shed was, because I'm curious. Like, one, like, what was the floor plan of the shed? And 2, like, if I know the floor plan, maybe I can figure out roughly how high the thing was. It was huge. And the amount of, like, it sounds like I'm just exaggerating for the sake of trying to tell a story, but honestly, I've never worked in a shed as big as that. It was absolutely enormous. I was gobsmacked. The first time I actually seen it, I was told this is where we keep our straw when I was first getting a tour of the farm and having a look around it. This is where we keep our straw. It's just this massive, great, big, monstrous, man-made cavern that just disappeared off into the distance. And I was just like, you know that bit in Gladiator when he's been taken prisoner, he's a slave, and they are taken into Rome for the first time ever, and they see the Colosseum. And one of the slaves turns to the main character and he says, "I did not know men could build such things." That's pretty much what I felt like the first time I seen this shed. And I was being, so this is where we keep our straw. And I literally felt like that guy. I did not know men could build such things. It was that kind of moment for me. It really was. Let me just finish this bit up a minute. That's the grass field all finished. So we drive this one back to the yard. And I think that's everything. Everything is fertilized. Everything has got herbicide on it that's going to need herbicide on it. We've done the grass. We've got our hay away in the shed. We've got this one is ready for manure coming out from the cows. 4 million potential litres there. We've got 48 bales of hay in the shed, which should keep us going. The cows are completely stocked full at the moment. I mean, that's pretty much it. As we got the BGA is giving us a bit of money now, isn't it? So we got a little bit of income from that one. We've got slurry right here. So we've got 13,000 litres of slurry in there. We'll take a bit more over soon. We've got 3,000 litres of digestate. Now, the main decision we need to make is whether or not we use the digestate on the field or I sell that as surplus. At the moment, I'm leaning towards selling it as surplus because even though I have explained in quite a lot of detail just how much I do like to do organic farming and I prefer that over other styles, I did say at the beginning of this series that I wouldn't do this as organic farm. This would all be sort of conventional farming. I'm just wondering if we even need to keep this one. Like, it's a really nice fertilizer spreader, but we've got both functionalities here with that one, and it does a really good job. So unless I'm genuinely needing 2 fertilizer spreaders running at once, there's no actual reason to keep that one going. Should be more money that we'd then be able to go and spend on something else. What have I got in here? I got 4,000 litres of food. We're all good in there, I think. Right. Let's go in here, get some sleep. We have another brand new day ahead of us tomorrow. I don't know if we got any crops ready to harvest tomorrow. We will find out in a moment. We have got crop. We've got that crop over there. That is ready for choppering, and we've still got 10,000 litres of slurry. We've got 4,000 here. 58,000 euros at the moment. So we had some money go out overnight. 237 there, 21 there. Oh, this would have been the end of the day. Loan interest of 6,616. Did I forget to pay off some? I must have forgotten to pay off some of the loan yesterday or something. You know, all the excitement of doing the hay and everything, I forgot to pay some money off. It would seem. Well, if I did, I did. Sold milk. Sold products. I must have just not paid that off. I mean, we've got extra from sold products. I'm not quite sure what that is. Biogas plant income, 4461. So that does fluctuate ever so slightly. So the prices do fluctuate a little bit with that, it seems. I don't know what the miscellaneous expenses would have been. Maybe diesel. Oh, diesel, fuel, that sort of thing. Yeah, the general kind of miscellaneous ones. Right, well, if I forgot to pay off the loan, I do need to then repay 2 lots today, don't I? So it doesn't tell you where you repay loan, but I pay 2 lots. It does actually look like I didn't pay anything. And then I wanted to increase that to 10. I was thinking about it and umming and ahhing, and I did actually say just like yesterday that I didn't want to do that straight away, but I think we can. Although I'm not going to quite, I think we should cover it. We should be able to cover it. All right, so I've done the 5,000 from yesterday because we missed a repayment lot there, if you have a look at that. And then I've done, so I did that 5,000, and then I've done 10,000 for today. So from today, we'll start repaying 10,000 euros per day on our loan. I've got 2 pallets of eggs right here. You cannot pick up 2 pallets of eggs. You can do that, which I really love. I love that you can do that. Don't really want to drop the eggs if you can help it, though. It doesn't really do them a lot of good. So we'll see what we get from that little pallet. I mean, I like that we're getting so many eggs here. We got these, and we get this every day. So we got 4,000 euros from that bit, and then this one here is going to be a little bit more. Drop that down there, close the gates, and if we leave that one out in front of us, we'll be able to run along a little bit quicker. Run this over. So I had 4,000 euros already, and then I'll put that on, and while that is busy doing what it's doing, we're going to go and get the milk, and we're going to sell that. More money still going. Look at it. Look at it go. 5,000 euros there, 5,100, and we're in June, so that is 9,000 euros that we just got. 9,220 from selling eggs. Eggs is, well, June is a really good price. March and April is very poor prices. June is a really good time for selling eggs. November is the best time. Like, it's absolutely the best time in November. But we're pretty close at the moment. At 3,700, we're pretty close to the high point. So we're doing all right with that. Right, let's get the milk hooked on. We've also got slurry that we can take over to the biogas plant, so we'll be able to take a load of that out. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drive through the shed, because I don't know if you noticed that the bales were hovering in the air. They do that in this game. If you leave the bales by the cows, they will use up the ones at the bottom, and then they just kind of, they will hover there like that. So what I'd like to do is this going to be close enough to load? Yes, it is. Excellent. Right. Load that one up, 4,320. And then if you just drive close to the bales, it will actually drop them down. Not too much trouble. There we go. Back across here. Sell off the milk right here. So I've had 9,000 euros already. And now we get the milk. That's going out. That is going to be an extra... Okay, we're up to 60,000. So we've now got more money than we had previously. There's another 8,100 right there. So that was 9,000. So we got 17,000 euros. Plus what we get from the biogas plant, we have got profit coming in, which is most excellent. That's what we want. I mean, yeah, because I had the extra 5 grand that I had to do from yesterday, it skewed the numbers a little bit by the look of it, but, well, I think it has. It does make a lot of sense that will... I'm sure I would have paid it off. Well, if I haven't, I haven't, I suppose. There's not a lot we can do about that. Anyway, I need to go and get some slurry. I'll bring that one out and around there. And start loading. I don't know how much slurry we've got. Alright, we've got quite a bit there, because that's saying 6,000, 5,000, 1,000. Alright. We had 1,000 litres left over, and I got 16,000 litres in this tank right here, which is quite a lot. That means that the biogas plant doesn't actually empty out. Now, somebody said... Glenn Buckins, I think it was, said that... there's a mini biogas plant. I don't know if that's one that I've got. So there's a 50-watt biogas plant right there, which seems like a little mini one. And then there's this one here, which is a 60-watt plant. That's a bigger plant there. Cheaty BGA network distributor. I don't know why it's cheaty. But there was, I think he said that there was a mini biogas plant. And I don't actually know which one that is. I need to possibly have a look elsewhere and see if I can find that. Whether it's actually just called a mini biogas plant. I got liquid manure and digestate drying mod right there. So it turns it into solid fertilizer. Field products. And then you got the modular BGA. It could be that he was talking about the modular BGA and you can make up some small bits with it. Oh, here. Mini biogas plant. Mini BGA with refueling. Right here. So you can use that for filling up the methane, I guess. And then you've got a refueling station. Part of the mini biogas plant. You just got a mini biogas plant right there. So you just come along and tip the stuff out. So there's not a lot to it. It seems, and a small refueling station there that would go with it. And he reckoned that this was a really, really cool one to use, and it's one that he uses himself. So maybe we could try that at a later date. I'm not quite sure. We got this one here going at the moment, so let's just worry about this one. I don't think we need to expand very much on this, and I wasn't planning at the moment on sort of making any silage in here or anything like that. That is everything all unloaded there. We've got a great demand at the restaurant and great demand at the farmer's market. Now, the biogas plant is just going to continue on its merry. We're nearly full of slurry in here, which means that if we're going to keep going with the slurry, we either need to invest more money in the biogas plant, or we need to just start selling the slurry. Now, I'm curious what you will think that I should do on this one. I don't have plans at the moment. Now, we own this, all right? So we own this land over here, which means that I own that biogas plant there, which I could sell for $322,000, which is an obscene amount of money. But I also own these, so I wasn't planning on actually making any silage. So what we could do is we could sell those, and then I could buy instead a couple of the small, the mini biogas plants that I was showing you just now. And if we had a couple of those, we could keep up all of the slurry that the cows are being producing. That could then be processed through biogas rather than doing it any other way. And we would also be able to process all of the straw that we get, that we put through the cows, turn into manure, and then it goes over to there. So we've kind of got options here. Alright, sorry, I was getting a bit of a frog in my throat there. We've got options here for how we could do it, but I'm curious how you think I should play this out. Do you think, I came up with this idea of possibly a whole series dedicated to just running BGAs, and it was pointed out, and I did also come to the same conclusion, that might not necessarily be a very productive series, because it's just going to be 3 different things that I can do, and that's going to be about it. So maybe we could sort of work towards doing some BGA stuff, more BGA stuff in this series. I don't know what you think about that. Obviously, I'm open to suggestions and talking about this, but, maybe we don't do any silage for the BGA. We don't look at doing silage at all. And instead, what we look at is I clear a bit of space, and then all manure and slurry that we get from the cows is processed through the BGA. The big one that we've got right there, we won't sell that one. We'll keep that one. That one will keep running. But we could also buy this mini BGA that I was looking at, which is this one right here, mini biogas plant. There's a refueling one that we could use, or we could just use the plain. I'll probably just use the plain one. So we could dump this down, and we can put the things in there, and we can use that one. The digestate that we get out of it, I'm thinking that we don't mess around with spreaders and stuff, putting that on the fields. Instead, we focus more on, we just sell it at the sell everything container that we've got. We've got the sell everything there, we might as well make use of it. Now, let me just have a look on the map over here. So I've got a field of grain over there that is now ready to harvest. I don't have anything else ready to harvest at the moment. So we've got one field over here that we are going to go and do. And I'm just going to park this tractor and trailer over here like this. That one is now ready to roll. And then we are going to skip back over here and get this combine. We're going to go and hitch on our header over there. We're going to roll those across the road and over to the fields. We will obviously leave all of the straw behind on the ground, and we will then go and bale all of that up. And once we have done that, see, these header trailers do tend to wander around quite a bit. It's one thing that I find slightly irritating with them, is they do move around an awful lot on the map. But once we've done this field here, I'm hoping that we will have enough grain to keep the chickens going for a full year. If we do, that means that the other grain we produce from our other crops it's actually got to be 2 years worth. We need 2 years worth. Once again, I can't actually remember how much I need. 21,600, so call it 22, so we want 40, we need 45, we'll call it 45,000. There's a little bit more than 2 years worth, but we want 45,000 litres of grain. To work it out, you need 5 litres of grain per chicken per month. So we got 360 chickens, and so that means that we need 5 times 360, which is 1,800, and then you need that times 12, which is 21,600. And no, I didn't just do all that in my head. I did the first bit. The 21,000 I actually used a calculator for it, because I'm not some sort of math prodigy thing type person. Enable straw swath, like that. There. Start this one up. And off we go. We are now getting barley and putting straw on the ground, which we'll then be able to bale up, and that will go straight in for the cows. So the first thing we will do is we'll put that into the cows, and we'll start producing manure, which will also go to the BGA plant. And then, depending on how you, the viewer, would like me to handle the slurry and the manure from here. So, like I said, I'm not going to do any silage at all for the BGA. That is, I'm ruling that one out. The only thing we're going to use the BGA for is processing slurry and manure from our cows. We have a set number of cows that we can get from the pen that we've got there. I will not be increasing that. Not going to get extra cows and ramp the scale up. It's going to stay exactly as it is. So what we have, and they are increasing in number a little bit as they breed, but that will be it. Once they reach maximum numbers in there won't be any more. Let me just have a quick look and see. I can't remember, and I want to remember we have got in here, doesn't actually tell us. I think we got 80. I think we can have 80 cows in here. So we got 40 at the moment with these 2 lots, and then these here are 2 months old. Reproduction there, so we will soon have another 20 cows. I think that's about it. So once they... Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.